Hello, my name is Jessica Florence, and this is my third discussion board post for Hius 512 at Liberty University. The topic for this week's post is Thomas Jefferson's legacy. Historians Jan Lewis and Peter Onuf note in their work on Jefferson that he can be difficult to evaluate in terms of legacy, as there are many approaches and things to take into consideration when looking at what contributions he has made to American history. The best way to interpret what Thomas Jefferson's legacy is to begin with his tombstone. Just prior to his death, Jefferson left very specific instructions into the way that he wanted his tombstone to read and into the way that he wanted to be remembered. There are 3 things listed on the tombstone, 2 of which are documents, and for the purposes of this discussion board, I will term them freedom documents. The Declaration of Independence and the Statute of Religious Freedom for the state of Virginia are the 2 documents that Jefferson chose as his greatest contributions. These documents give insight to his ideas on freedom, liberty, and democracy for what would become the United States of America. The Declaration of Independence was written in June of 1776 as the official severing of ties between the American colonies and the British Crown. Beyond being sent to the royal crown in Britain, it was also passed around the colonies for the average colonist to read and to understand what the colony stood for. In this context, it was also a unifying document as well as a divisive document. Beyond this context, the implications of the Declaration of Independence can be seen at various points throughout history. I'm going to explain a few of these examples to give a better understanding of what the Declaration of Independence means, not only to America, but also around the world. The first indication that the Declaration of Independence had other implications outside of America was in 1789 with Lafayette, as he wrote his own document for France entitled The Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen. Elizabeth Cady Stanton in 1848 would call upon the Declaration of Independence when she asked for women to have the right to vote, just as men did. Abraham Lincoln would refer to the Declaration of Independence in 1863 in his famous Gettysburg Address to remind the nation what our forefathers had stood for, and the nation that they wanted to create was based on all men being created equal. In 1930, Gandhi would refer to the idea of unalienable rights that can be found in the Declaration of Independence when addressing issues between what would become India and Pakistan. In 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. would refer to the creed of the Declaration of Independence and remind America to live by it, that all men were in fact created equal. Jefferson has written a document that has inspired over 120 other declarations of independence from around the world, from various cultures and various countries. This demonstrates that Jefferson's legacy through this document is that it has been able to transcend not only time, but also culture. His other contribution to freedom writing is found in the Virginia Statute of Religious Freedom. It is in this document that Jefferson seeks to specifically explain the relationship between the church and the state. His purpose of this document was not to exclude the church or the state from any type of society, but rather to explain what their role should be, and more specifically, to protect the right to worship freely. Daniel Dressbach notes in his research on this particular document that much of what Jefferson may have intended the document to be is not how it is interpreted in modern times. In fact, it has become quite controversial. Its original context, more than likely, according to Dressbach, was to establish guidelines for civic authority when handling issues involving the church, as opposed to a complete separation as to how it is interpreted today. These documents demonstrate that Thomas Jefferson's legacy has gone beyond the time period that he lived in to help encourage and establish freedom, liberty, and democracy around the world.